Welcome to our crazy new world. I'm reminded of this quote I recently saw by Lenin, and it's not John Lennon in this case, it's Vladimir Lenin. And it goes something like this. He said that there are decades when not much happens, and there are weeks when decades happen. And that's what it feels like right now. The news is moving so quickly, it's hard to keep up. And I'll challenge whether some of it's worth keeping up on, but I'm shooting this video a couple days before I'm going to send it out to you. But it seems like every day brings amazing new crazy news. If I think about where we were a week ago, it's hard to imagine what's happened in this week. And I'm reminded of this of a blog post that I wrote. It was actually back in 2011. Remember blog posts? 2011, I wrote about the future of all humanity. And in it, I wrote about how I felt that entrepreneurs are the future of all humanity. We're the ones that are making progress in this world. We're the ones that are creating jobs. We are the ones creating positive change. And it also went on to say that I think online entrepreneurs, especially the ones that are teaching, they're the future of education. And if the future of education isn't the future of humanity, I don't know what is. And now here we are in a world that's rapidly trying to figure out how to take so much education online with schools and universities closing around the world. And all of a sudden, what we're doing, and I'm assuming you're part of this whole wisdom business, this knowledge business, this information business that I've been part of for so long. I assume, well, if you're part of that, you're on the cutting edge. We are the ones that are going to move things forward. And of course, I can't forget about all the doctors, the nurses, and the emergency medical folks that are just already performing heroic deeds around the world. They're going to be called on to do so much more. Can't forget about them. There's a future of humanity as well. But the reality is that there are so many people that are going to be hurting, that are going to need education, that are going to need employment, that are going to need jobs. And I think it's our job to lead them now. This is a business that many of us have been involved in for years or even decades. I started my first information business in 1996. And I've got many friends that have this long experience. So we're the ones that are going to be, I think, are poised in a fantastic position to help people, to serve people. And that's what I want to challenge you to do, is to be a leader, be a servant leader. It doesn't mean you can't make sales. It doesn't mean you don't think about your business. It doesn't mean you don't think about marketing, because all of that is critically important. In these times, money needs to move. Commerce needs to happen. So I don't think you should just completely forget about the sale. But I think now is the time to show up and serve, show up and lead. Even if you are just starting out, even if you've just got a few people following you in social somewhere, you have to think of yourself as a leader. And as a leader, you have to acknowledge what's going on. And this is a crazy world. We don't know what's going to happen. The news is getting worse by the day, and I personally believe it's going to continue to get worse for quite a while going forward. But as leaders, we can acknowledge the bad news. We can acknowledge that things are getting crazy. We can acknowledge that we don't know where things are going. But we also have to show up and lead by maintaining control over our mental state and our mental game and our mental awareness and our messaging out into the world. I think right now, social distancing is the buzzword. I think we all have to do that. And as leaders, we need to be talking about that. And we need to be leading people into that. Because from everything it looks like, that's what's going to help, flatten the curve. How about, well, that was a meme no one had heard of a few weeks ago, and all of a sudden that's like everywhere, right? But the reality is that's what we have to focus on. And as people who have a following, who have people paying attention to what we say, even if it's only a few followers on social, we have to get out there and be leaders. And we have to be leaders not in leading panic. You know, it's never too late to panic, right? Meaning don't panic. The panic serves no good. You need to be a leader, and to be a leader, you need to be focusing on the future, because the reality is we're all going to come through this. We're going to get through this. We will move forward, but you can't be clicking the refresh button and watching the news nonstop. That's not doing anyone any good. You have to be focused on your self-care. You have to be focused on caring for the people around you. You have to be focused on your mental game. Things like, breathing, things like hydration, things like meditation, things like exercise, things like yoga. Those are the things that will keep your mental state where it needs to be so you can show up and be a leader. And oh, by the way, those are all things that will help your immune system. Things like sleep. The basic self-care things. So my challenge for you is to show up and be a leader for your tribe, for your community, for who's ever following you, for your family, for whoever you can influence right now. Use all those tools to be a leader, to be a voice of reason, to be a voice of restraint, to be a voice of good citizenship, which right now is social distancing, right? And if you show up and serve right now, if you keep your mental game in order, that will serve you in the long run. Not just, I'm talking, it will serve you in your business, because people will come out of this thriving. People, first they'll survive and then they'll thrive. And I believe the people that are going to thrive are not the profiteers. They're not the people looking to take advantage of the situation, but they're the people that are showing up and serving and helping people. And if you can do that, if you can focus on that in whatever capacity you have, especially in your business, then you're not only going to do a great service to the world, but you're going to build your business in the long run. So I'm Jeff Walker. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.